Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, and I got some more baseball picks for you today, Monday, June 27th. So I came out with a video last night. I only had one pick in that video because it's a little bit of a lighter MLB slate with only 9 games, and they also hadn't posted any player props yet. So I logged back in this morning. I locked in a bunch of bets, and there are two here specifically that I want to highlight and add to my Matt's Bets spreadsheet as I'm finally starting to see some traction of success with my new betting strategy, up about $60 overall since that, which is the 21st. And that was after a rough start, which happens. So, hoping to keep the stretch going today. Of course, all of the bets that I find, you already know the drill. I get from the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page. Just to do a little bit of a recap on my strategy, take a minute to do that. So, for game props, I'm playing totals, first half total runs, first half run lines. I'm not playing money lines because the edge there hasn't really been great. And I'm playing anything above 3% that has market width of 25 and below. I'm also not playing any alternate props unless I do heavily research into them, which this one I didn't like. So no team totals, no yes or no run first inning. For player props, anything goes except it is above 4% and below 35 cents in market width. So you see a bunch of plays here, like these first four I actually avoided. This one I avoided. This one I checked on PointsBet. It's no longer available, so it's not one that I am betting. But the one that I did highlight and I did really like was this Giancarlo Stanton over 1.5 player bases. So the EV percent is at 4.6, so well within range there. The OddsJam line prices this at plus 101. And as we all know, this is pulled from the sharpest sportsbook in the world, the most efficient betting market in the world. Prices this at plus 101. And then with the VIG removed, priced at plus 115. So the VIG, as I'm sure you guys are all aware by now, is just the juice that sportsbooks price up odds themselves. It's how they make their money. They don't charge a transaction fee. They just charge a VIG, so they can accept equal payout on both sides and still be profitable. So in order to get the true representation of what this OddsJam line prices plays at, you need to remove the VIG and find the true line, which is exactly what is done in this column here. So the VIG, with the VIG removed, this is priced at plus 115. The market width is 33 cents, so well within range there. So that checks all the boxes in terms of the first level math that I'm looking for on the positive expected value page. So next thing I like to do is open the link in a new tab. Basically, the goal here is just to see where every sportsbook is pricing this at, because I want to see if I am truly getting a pricing discrepancy or not. And in this case, it's a resounding yes. And if we just look at all these numbers, right, that plus 125 is a clear outlier amongst everything. OddsJam, as we know, has this at plus 101. Every other book has this right around even money, except for BetMGM, which has it actually for even worse at minus 105. So this plus 125, huge discrepancy across all the sports books, which is why it checks off that box. So number one, positive EV, market width percent, all that good stuff. Check. Number two, is it a true pricing discrepancy? Check. Number three, and I don't do a ton of handicapping. Someone commented asking about all the handicapping I do. For this video, I keep it pretty high level because I don't want to go too far into the weeds. But I just like to look at the pitching matchup, which this one he actually has a tough pitching matchup in Paul Blackburn. He's two and two. Or yeah, he's 2-2 against him in terms of at bats. So two at bats, 2 hits. So he's batting exactly 1,000. I don't necessarily think that's going to keep up, but that's a good start. And in terms of his stats overall, he's not having a great year in terms of average. I do like the fact that he's gotten a hit 3 out of his past 4 games. He's got an RBI 3 out of his past 4 games, so that does make me a little more comfortable because with hitters, it's such a mental thing, and the season is such a slog that I like backing batters that have had recent success because hopefully they can keep that momentum going. I did look at his splits right versus left. Not great. He's actually a little bit better versus left-handed pitchers. So that wasn't in my favor, but everything else was. And with the value being as good as it was, I ended up really liking it. I ended up locking it in. So I actually already bet this one on FanDuel. As you can see here, Giancarlo Stanton to record 2+ total bases. I ended up putting 45 on this one. So now let's just add it to my spreadsheet. So I'm just going to put Stanton over. This was bases. This is, of course, today. I put 45 on it at plus 125 odds. And then the last thing I like to do is just calculate my expected profit from this individual bet. You can do that by taking the percent here. So this percent can essentially be viewed as your edge. It's your mathematical profit margin. And you can actually calculate, once you lock in the bet, what your actual profit is in terms of real dollars. Your expected profit, I should say, not your actual, your expected profit in real dollars. It's not that complicated. You just multiply the percent by the amount you wagered on it. So I have that formula in here. You just drag it down. So expected profit of $2 here. Again, not breaking the bank, but you just hope that these profits compound upon each other, which is what has started to happen with my MLB bets, and we will keep it going. So the first one, Giancarlo Stanton over 1.5 player bases. And I have one more for you today. So I'm going to have 3 plays total, including the video I did yesterday, 2 total on this video. What I'm looking at here is the Rockies versus Dodgers first half total under 5.5. So number one, this is a really high total at 5.5. So that immediately jumps out. Obviously, 2 good offenses being played in Colorado, which is a hitter's park. So that is something not in my favor, but that's baked into the odds and that's baked into the total. So getting under 5.5 first half total runs, which is essentially the first 5 innings, at plus 148 odds is pretty good value. The OddsJam line prices this at plus 131 with the VIG removed at essentially plus 139. So the gap on this one is roughly 3.78%. So I can go ahead and enter that here in my expected profit percentage, 3.78% as my mathematical profit margin. The market width on here is only 20 cents, so well within range there. So that checks off all the boxes in terms of just the positive EV, market width, all that good stuff. So checks off all the boxes there. From just a baseball perspective, like I said, it makes me a little nervous. 2 really good offenses in Coors Field, but actually it's a pretty good pitching matchup. So 2 good pitchers, especially on the Dodgers side. You know, Tyler Anderson, 8-0, 3.0 ERA. Chad Cole, not as good, 3.95 ERA. But the batters on the Dodgers are cold recently, just based on their game last night. They did end up winning, but it was a low-scoring game. Ended up being 5-3, but they scored, I think, 3 runs, 2 runs in the 9th. And then, they had been shut out, I was right, until the 9th inning. Then they scored all their 5 runs after that. So maybe they are catching fire, or maybe they're still a little bit cold. Either way, this is something that I ended up locking in, as you can see here, for $60. So now let me just add this to my spreadsheet. So it was Dodgers, Rockies under first half. Again, that's today. I put $60 on it at plus 148 odds. So now if I just drag this down, I can get my expected profit percentage from it, 2.27, and we are good to go. So those are going to be my 2 bets specifically for this video. So if you're tailing, let me know. You can hit me up at my Twitter, Modi_Matt. You can comment on the video, let me know you're tailing that way. Or if you're fading, I don't mind the negative feedback at all. Other than that, please remember to like the video, share with your friends, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, and that's all I got for you. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.